scared me.
Good morning.
Good morning. I was worried because you weren't here, and Noble's not going to be here.
Yeah, no, just moving slowly this morning. Yeah, we have all that Destiny news to talk about. All those good updates. All that excitement about.
No, we had an update, and
We did.
we are celebrating Women's History Month, and there's some videos. So we've got lots to look forward to. So I'm going to roll the titles, and we can get into it.
Sounds amazing.
Welcome to the Two Titans and a Hunter Destiny 2 podcast, a show dedicated to bringing you the latest intel, the mightiest news, and the boldest opinions from the farthest reaches of the Sol system. Whether you're a bright-eyed new Guardian, fresh from the Cosmodrome, or a battle-hardened veteran of the Red War, this is your Destiny destination. We'll arm you with tips, tricks, and tower-worthy tools to help you triumph, thrive, and revel in the glory of the fight. So without further ado, let's get on with the show.
So welcome to the show this week. It is just Peroty and Night Demon because Noble is unavailable. He's bogged down by children and cannot get up. So we've lost all our YouTube viewers at this point. So I do apologise. Noble doesn't care about you. That's the thing. He won't sacrifice the children to get onto the show. So,
Oh, there they go. Bye, everyone.
Well, let's just jump into This Week in Destiny and we can go from there. Because I did have a plan this week. I thought we'll talk about some weapons that are coming with the updated raids this time because we did dungeons last week. And I thought, Noble's a good insight with some of these weapons. And then he's kind of not here to go through it. So we can't do that now. Well, we could, but I'd like to have his opinion as well. So, and I'm sure, just, off the top of my head, I think we've got a few more weeks in between now and when the major update is coming. So we might have some time to kind of, there's some wiggle room in there. So let's just get on with This Week in Destiny for the 5th of March, 2026. So this week, Destiny, they're starting off by shouting out many, many Guardians who took on and triumphed in our recent community challenge, the Praxic Time Trial Challenge, which finished on Tuesday. And at the time of the publication, the TWAB, they've granted all the Fallen Torches and Artificing Signal emblems to those who succeeded in the Dark Age Hunt, which was the one that came before the Praxic Time Trial Challenge. So you should, if you've completed, I think that was the other dungeon one with the swords and the bows and the glaives, wasn't it?
The medieval challenge one. If you got through with your medieval weapons, you received your reward for doing so.
Yeah.
Good job for whoever managed to do that.
So yeah, the rest of the Praxic Time Trial stuff will be coming soon, I hope. And there are quite a few more videos that have been submitted, one with only 1 second to spare. And just well done to everybody that tried that. Noble and I tried that this week, and that was quite funny because, I wish he was here to talk about it. But we couldn't find a third, so we thought, there are people out there that are doing it in duos, and we got our loadout. Yeah, we got our loadout set up. We were discussing about what we were going to do with, boss chunking damage and everything else. And, we had it down. We knew what we were doing. We knew how to get through each encounter, and then hopefully it was going to go brilliantly. We got in the first bit, and I said to him, let's just run past all these enemies. We only need to get to that, the first area where we kind of get on the ship and go up. So we have to kind of do the speeder bike thing and kill all the walkers and kill all the blighted bubble people as well. So we did that, and as we were flying to the ship, I had a quick look because I was recording it as we were doing it. 9 minutes just to do the opening bit, and we ran past most of it at the beginning. And I was like, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do this. It took us 20 minutes to get to the kind of the first boss encounter with the one with the two lightsabers. And that was just jumping through. I don't know how people have done this. Props to them. We were giggling all the way through because it then took us another 20 minutes, I think, to clear that first boss with the double lightsabers. And we were just like giggling so much about that. And then it took us we got to the final boss, and it was like the time was at 40 minutes. And I said to him, I'm going to have to stop the recording because it runs out at an hour. So I'm going to have to stop, and then we're going to have to record the last bit of doing the boss. We were just falling about laughing because it then took us another 40 minutes to just do the boss bit. And I think even then we didn't complete it. We just kept dying over and over and over again. So we more than kind of double, triple, quadrupled it in our time trial challenge, which was quite funny.
Yeah, I'm seeing these videos, and I haven't watched them, but seeing these times of, we did it in 13 minutes. I did it in 18 minutes. I'm like, how? I mean, obviously you're going to show me exactly how, but yeah, I think this is Bungie giving one to the speedrunners, going, you want to do this? You want to do this quickly? I mean, I knew there's a way to traverse things quickly and to move through the world very fast, but seeing this is just like, so that's how people are doing all this.
I don't know how people are doing it in like 15 minutes.
I know there are ways, and this is what they are. Yeah, unreal.
Sneaky guest, welcome.
Am I sneaky?
Well, you snuck in here. We didn't know you were coming.
No.
Have you been sent?
I haven't been sent. I was here to crash and complain at you guys because there was a host trying to bash me in the last show. So yeah.
Ooh, so now this is your chance to bash him. Perfect.
This is retaliation, is it?
Drama.
Yeah, because he's not here this week.
Yeah.
Donny, the floor is yours. Rebash.
And there's the YouTube viewers back. Coming back now. I hear them.
I got multiple messages from him like, did you hear the show from the latest show? If so, I'm going to go into hiding. And I'm like, I haven't heard it yet. So, yeah, I heard he was trying to blame me for all the revives in that Grandmaster.
Yep,
So, yeah,
he did. Yep. That I didn't instigate that. That was just all him.
It was him. That was definitely him.
We were playing it through, and we were going a lot faster and a lot smoother, and we didn't run out of revives. And he's going, you know what? I think this is Donny's fault. This is the reason why we didn't get through it. I was like, well, I'm pretty sure that where we ran it the first time, we knew what we was coming this time. So that's probably the only reason why we were able to get it done a little bit better. And you were just he was just sitting there twirling his blade like I was. So he
was doing the same thing that he was accusing you of when we were doing it with the three of us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So
that's nice. Mr. Anti-Meta was just running with the meta and complaining against the person that wasn't running a meta. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
what you get, Noble. That's what you get. Retaliation. So, Donny, did you manage to do your Praxic time trial challenge this past couple of weeks? Or have you not been on and just been gooping, was it, that you told me it was?
Yeah, well, a lot of goopings. No, I've done some Destiny here and there, just trying to catch up.
Yeah.
And I want to get to a point where it's, for me, necessary to get Renegades.
Yeah.
So I'm catching up until Renegades, and then I'm going to buy Renegades to catch up, because we have more than enough time to play up the catch-up game, so that's why.
So you've not bought Renegades?
Not yet. I should have bought it when it was on sale, to be fair, but I was like, it will happen, and
at the happen again, yeah. You've definitely got some time in between the major update, and they'll put it on sale, or maybe even give it away for free. Just to
Who knows? Maybe it will come to the PlayStation Plus or the Game Pass. Who knows?
Yeah. PlayStation Plus maybe, but not Game Pass. It did its Game Pass thing a long time ago, which was quite good. But yeah.
Yep. Yeah, PlayStation Plus, it seems like it's overdue, right? Because it was on Game Pass, at least parts. I feel like I can't remember if it was parts of it or just it was on Game Pass briefly, and then
I think it was Lightfall that was on Game Pass.
It's time for PlayStation Plus to have their moment,
which was really good. Because I really enjoyed that, being able to kind of just play remotely on my phone or wherever that I could kind of get the cloud gaming. And the frustration that I have at the moment is that if somebody is on the TV and I want to stream to my laptop, I can stream from the Xbox to the laptop. But if I'm if somebody else is using the Xbox and playing on their account, and I want to use the cloud gaming, I can get on and it says play your games that you own, and it gives me a list of all the games that I own and all the Game Pass games and all the gold
But not
games
that
that
one.
are kind of, but not Destiny. And
Mhm.
it frustrates me because Arc Raiders is on there, and I'm guessing Marathon's on there now. It may not be, but like Fortnite and all the Gears of War, and it's like, well, you're just tempting me not to play you because there's all these other games on there. And if you allowed me to stream the game that I own
Mhm.
on the cloud gaming, I could easily play it, but I can't.
Yeah, that's the part. That's the part I don't like. The older cloud gaming, like I guess before they like redid the Xbox app that would like seem to stream like from the console in your house to like to a laptop on also in your house. That
Yeah.
I understood. I'm like, I own this game. It can run downstairs. I just want it to run upstairs on a different screen.
Yeah.
Great. The new cloud gaming, I guess, runs from the cloud, Microsoft's data centers. But why then can't I run the same game that I own downstairs, just upstairs, but just from the cloud? Why is that not a thing? Like, doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. I had to
But yeah.
purchase a separate app on my Mac called OneCast that I can then cast from whichever Xbox if I'm in the house to play. That's not a problem. But I don't really want to play on the old. Is it? I can't remember which ones it is.
The One X
one-
and S, yeah.
Yeah, the One X. That's it. Yeah, yeah.
Microsoft
I want to stream from the
naming
most
conventions.
recent one.
right, exactly.
Too many X's.
Microsoft naming conventions, so easy to track and remember. No.
Maybe the new one might work if it sticks with its code name of Helix.
Ugh, maybe.
Oh, that's not going to be the name of it. It
I know.
definitely isn't.
Yeah.
They'll rename it to be even more confusing than it is right now. Don't worry.
Well, the logo is kind of a mixed, messed up Xbox logo if you look at it. Yeah, it's going to be the younger, not so smarter brother of the Xbox.
Do you think at that point though that things like Destiny will then cut off older consoles? They'll do like what they did with Rise of Iron and go, well, from this point on, you can play up to this point in Destiny 2 on the old Xbox Ones, but if you want the kind of current Destiny 2, it's going to have to go Series X plus the Helix model and whatever the PlayStation 6 is.
Well, I think it's going to be some
nice.
kind of a multimedia system that it's not going to be only a console. It's going to be something like a big cloud streaming service device, because they're saying that we can also play PC games off of it. And
Yeah.
it's going to use the whole Xbox Game Pass cloud system. So it's going to be like a multimedia PC. So yeah, who knows? As
Well, that's
long as
what
we
I'm
can
hoping.
game on it.
Yeah, I mean the Xbox has just been a big PC this whole time anyway. It's just another PC running Xbox OS versus Windows. But yeah, like I wouldn't mind them cutting off the old stuff, especially if they want to maybe bring back some of the stuff they took away, or put things back in the game, or
Yeah.
the limitations caused by the older consoles, whatever those are, for whatever they can improve the game by cutting those off. Because again, like it's like they have to have player numbers on. How many people are playing this on these ancient consoles? And again, like I'm sure the number is not zero. Like the number is never zero, but how many people are still doing this? And is it worth that support, or conversely, is it just way more work to cut this off, because then they have to do a bunch of other work to make that happen? I don't know. It would be nice. It'd be nice to move things forward, and cutting off the ancient consoles at this point seem like moving things forward, but
Yeah, I mean,
we'll have to
maybe
see post marathon what we're going to get.
maybe they're looking at how many people play on those old consoles, and they're kind of looking at the data and going, well, if we cut those people off, we are losing that part of the player base, a bit like they did with Destiny 1. So do they just kind of, because they still haven't shut down the 360 and the PlayStation 3 version of Destiny 1. You
Right.
can
I've
still
seen
play up
streams
to
this
Rise of
week
Iron.
that people were legitimately going into the vanilla D1
Yep.
and just on the 360 and PS3, and I'm like, oh my god, that's still working.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like it, which is mind-boggling. Like I mean, we have these games that get released and are shut down in 2 weeks. I mean, Bungie running these games for this many decades, years at this point, is just a testament to, no, I mean, we're going to give you a game. You're going to be able to play that. If you bought that game, come back a decade from now, you will still play that game. Obviously not, the newest and best and greatest, but it will still be available. Where, I mean, if anything, that's the lesson other people should take away from things. Instead of shutting things down, it's been a couple of years, we're going to shut the servers down, or it's been 2 weeks, we're just going to shut everything down and not even give the game a chance to exist. Like, that game came out in 2004. No, don't worry about it, we got you. I know it's not 2004, but it came out in 2014, and now it's 2026. Yeah, no, go back and play that game. It's still there. Server's still on.
And I think that it's a testament to Bungie, isn't it? How long people want to play their games. I mean, you just have to look at the Halo 2 servers that they did, where people rallied around just to keep those servers on. I mean, I'm also hearing good things about Marathon. Not that I've played it or been anywhere near it, apart from that server slam.
It's both ways, because the people who love it are praising it.
Yeah.
But then we have the newer generation gamers who don't have enough patience to give the game a chance, that are just review bombing it, and it's bad, because I synced in about 40 plus hours into the server slam.
Yeah.
And it's good. Okay. Might not be my cup of tea with the complete art style, and sometimes it's a bit too childish in my opinion. But it's a good game. Just give it a chance. They will add new maps. They will change stuff. Maybe you can have some filters for less brightness or whatever it is that people are complaining about. But just give games a chance, because it's bad that it's... These days, games have to be delivering in 24 hours? 72 hours tops? And if it's not good in that amount of time, people are like, no, this game is just leave it. And they only bash everything about the game, and it's the developer's fault because they're not listening. And I'm like, no, just give it a chance, because No Man's Sky was one of the biggest flops there was. At the moment, years later, it's one of the best games in the genre ever made.
Yeah.
Not every
what
game
was the other game? Cyberpunk?
Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, same thing. Like when it came out, and I think that was even a bigger example of it wasn't done, it wasn't ready. It was basically, we had to push this out because the timeline, it had gone past when the studio or whoever wanted it out, so we have to push this out, but it's not done, it's not ready, so of course it's going to be a bad experience.
Yeah,
and
then surprise! And then those games a chance. But Rockstar is getting years of time for GTA 6. So, I have questions.
Just like I think it was the Second Wind guys who done a video this week, basically basically making the same point. Marathon could be a really good game if people are patient enough to give it a chance and just to learn how to play a new game. I feel like. And I'm the same way. Having played one game for the better part of a decade, learning a new game, it's like I don't want to have to learn new controls and new things and new icons. Like I don't want to have to learn this whole new game. It's like you need to learn a new game if you want to play it. It's going to take a minute. Like there's a lot of icons, there's a lot of pictures, there's a lot of this and that and the other. It's like give it a minute. You're going to have to put in a little bit of time to figure out how it works. Just like you pick, just like
a beta, so everything is going to be changed if people complain.
Right, and it's just like if you go from Destiny to a different shooter, the buttons are different. You're going to have to learn which button jump is and which your grenade button is, and you might throw a couple grenades at people on accident. It takes you a minute to relearn controls. It takes you a minute to pick up a new game. And
I think people forgot how Destiny started,
right,
compared to where we are now. So,
but I do think they had a smoother launch than they had with Destiny. Although I did see,
there was less expectation.
Yeah,
and that's the problem, because people expect a game of the year immediately at launch.
Well, I mean, to be fair, did they rewrite all of Marathon's story and everything minutes before launching it? Because I mean, if they didn't, then they're not really living up to the tradition of Destiny. And everyone calling for Destiny 3. I'm like, you all calling for Destiny 3 don't remember either Destiny 1 or 2. You don't remember how this started out.
In their defense, the reason they're asking for it is because they want a newer generation capability of the game. And I get that. But also, that comes with problems, especially these days, because look at Bungie. They brought out a brand new state-of-the-art game. And how is the community or the gaming experience been so far? They're bashing the game, so what's Bungie going to do with the next game they want to bring out?
Right. Well, and that's the thing. It's like everything is new. I was watching. I mean, as we're just going all over the place here today. I was watching Curious Ape, the guy behind Stardew Valley, answer questions because I think like the 10-year anniversary of that game just passed, and he was doing like a little Q&A and showing some like early footage from the game because that's a game he developed solely on his own over the course of however many years. And basically, someone was asking him, basically, like, why do you continue to put out updates for this game? Why not Stardew Valley 2? Why not work on the next version of it? And he's just like, it's so much more fun and so much easier to add to things because you've done all the boring work. You've built all the system. He was just basically like all the systems. All the walking and the interactions and the all those basic things that we as players take for granted. And we talk about, on this show how, like the Destiny jumping and stuff is like, this is Halo code. Like, some of these systems are like from Halo 3. It's like, these are systems that are, no one wants to build a let's walk around system. Let's get basic movement right. Let's make sure my character can hold the gun in a realistic looking way. Like, those systems are all done. That's all built. Like, nobody wants to, rebuild or have to put all that into the the new engine or the updated whatever in the new game. It's much easier to say, we have the game, let's work on improving it. Let's work on adding content to it and making it better versus let's start from scratch where we have to rebuild to some degree all of these basic systems.
There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just the gamers these days are very, very impatient.
Yeah,
because if it's not something new or not something streamers talk about, then it's just losing interest in something, and they just go with the whole media hype instead of having their own opinion or giving it a chance. Because I cannot say if I play a game for an hour or maybe even 10 hours, I cannot say that a game is good. That's just your gaming experience or your one gaming session you had, and it's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be different. You're supposed to be giving it time. Just, I don't know. Might be because we're getting too old.
You say that. I did see a TikTok a couple of weeks back, and I showed my wife because it was very true. Is that the generation of gamers that we are were brought up on games that if you put it on, you played through it. There was no save points. There was no continuing. There was like you would just play the game. And if you died, you would restart from the very beginning and keep playing and playing and playing again. And games were hard. I mean, you just have to look at things like, was it Aladdin and The Lion King on the Mega Drive?
Yes.
And you would just, you would sit down in front of that game. And even if it was the worst game in the world and you'd spent all your money on it, you would play it until you got to the point where you just couldn't play it anymore. And then you'd come back another time and try it again, thinking, it's better than what I thought it was going to be. But I think we were just kind of brought up on games very different than kind of today's gamers are. And we learned quite a lot of things about, being patient and retrying and just, learning about things. Whereas people want things instantly these days. You play a game and unless it's something like a raid or something in Destiny 2, you've got a save point every 5 seconds. And it's like, that's not how we used to play. We learned that if you wanted a save point, you'd have to have something in the game to maybe save at that point. Once we got
ridiculous long codes that were impossible to remember.
Yeah, like Resident Evil, you'd have to collect the save things to go around and do the typewriters.
Yes.
Yep. So, I mean, some games, as we kind of progress, would get that point, but you would be very limited with what you could do. That's the situation that we're in these days, isn't it? Gamers are very impatient they want their game done. I mean, many games that we got when we were younger, I got Ghostbusters 2 on the Commodore 64, and it was a broken game. And I never knew it was a broken game because I couldn't get past the first level. And it was only when I did eventually get past the first level the game just kind of crashed, and I had to take it back.
Oh,
And at that point, it was the store that knew that they had to be recalled, but they didn't know who they'd sold them to at that point because they didn't keep records and things. So it was only
right. Oh,
pure luck if you got past that first level and you took the game back that you could get a refund for it. But it's like it shipped broken, and yeah,
yeah,
just-
and that's yeah. I mean, that's I
You dealt with it.
remember. Yeah, I mean, and I think that's the other thing too. I mean, I'm not going to say like you couldn't find cheaper games, back when I was a kid, because like you could, but not in the same way. Like there was, and there's, I mean, just the fact that the internet exists now it makes this whole thing different. I mean, when my brother and I were kids, it was, beg mom for a ride to the mall so we could go to Software Etc. or KB Toys or something, and like and put our allowance money and whatever from months of savings to get our $60 to get her to buy a single video game for the Super Nintendo. It was basically like, all right,
Yep.
which game can you agree on that you want to have? And you better hope you made a good choice, because that's the last game you're getting for a while, unless Christmas is coming, or maybe a birthday, maybe like that's a game you're playing now for the next 6 months, the next 3 months. I mean, that is now your new game. So you better hope, it worked. Because there's no hot patch, there's no update, there's you got what came on the cartridge, and that was it.
Yep.
And I mean, it's like I remember like the hours we spent in NBA Jam, figuring out basically
How to break the backboard and stuff. Yeah, I remember that.
well doing that, and also because we would often have like an NBA Jam playthrough going, like on the season or whatever, and then also doing one on like either like Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy. And NBA Jam, it became a like, okay, how much, what difficulty can we put this up to, and then how much can we blow the computer player out? How much can we absolutely run up the score? And we kept record books and score charts, because it's like, this is the game we have to play, so we're gonna nurse every ounce of interest out of this game. And then we would take turns like playing Final Fantasy 2 and 3 together, and then like keeping notebooks on like where we were, what we were doing, where we'd been.
Yeah.
It's like and trying to figure out, oh, there's a side quest over here. Oh, hey, I saw in Nintendo Power they talked about this. Let's go see if we can find that thing. I mean, it really was
Trying to find a friend who had that issue.
totally. Yeah, and it just it's like I mean, it's like really just there wasn't like if this game isn't any good, you could play one of the other couple ones you had, but there wasn't let's go buy, let me go download a new game from the internet and try it out, or let me grab a demo of something.
Yeah.
Those things simply didn't exist. So I mean, you had to play what you had, because that's what you had available.
Yep.
Yeah, this is not to say that kids these days, it's just a very different time to be a gamer, and very different. Yeah, just very different thing. Very different things to work around. I mean, I'm not going to say for a second. Well, I'm not going to say for a second if I had the internet and broadband and I could, have 100 games at my disposal, I absolutely would have. In a heartbeat. If I was a kid today, I would absolutely, be downloading demos and grabbing things and saying, "Oh, that's on sale for a couple bucks. Let me pick it up and try it." Like, 100%. Well, I try not to be old man yelling at cloud.
No, that's what I was thinking. As I started ranting, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm just." But yeah, like you said, it's not the person. It's because they've been brought up with that technology and the age that they kind of live in. And if we'd been brought up with the kind of vast amounts of kind of technology and internet and things that were available to young gamers these days, we'd probably be exactly the same. It's just that we were brought up completely
100%.
different with how technology was way back when.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's the line I kind of draw too. It's like trying to say, "Oh, kids, kids today are doing this." It's like, don't for a second, all you people saying that, you act like you wouldn't be doing the exact same thing if you had the opportunity. Yeah. I absolutely would. Why would I not?
I think that's half the reason why there is such staying power with the older generation of gamers with certain games, like us with Destiny, is that we've kind of been there with games that we had that one game that we only owned that one game for a year until our next birthday, and we kind of invested time and played it over and over again. And Destiny updates like lots of other games, so it always kind of piques your interest to keep coming back and playing again. So I think the older generation may be the people that kind of are keeping this game alive. I mean, there are new players coming in all the time. For example, I've been playing a little bit of Fortnite just to kind of keep up with my son, just to show him Dad can get a victory royale. It can solo a victory royale. But looking at the community there, that they've had a really bad season, and they're like, oh, if the next season is really bad, that's the death of Fortnite. I'm like,
that's legitimately the meme from Pirates. First time here. I can't explain it the other way.
You had a bad season, and they've pushed the season starting from the beginning of March to I think the 18th of March or something like that. My son was saying
2 whole weeks. Wow.
And they're freaking out. I'm like, come over to Destiny. Then we'll talk about freaking out about some delays. There is no way that game is, even if they have 2 or 3 bad seasons, people will still come in and play it. They're complaining about bots. They're complaining about new players coming in and just enjoying it. And admittedly, I was just enjoying it. Just showing my skills.
Yep. Yeah. There's so many games out there to play, and so it's like every game is going to have the eternal September problem of there's always new people coming in. There's always people who don't understand the culture or the vibe or whatever how the game is supposed to be played or how you're supposed to do things. Whatever that internal either meta in your own brain or meta in your friend group or just whatever games meta has come built up into. There's some people just like, I'm going to hear and watch the world burn. I just want to come in and play it because I can. I want to run around with the worst weapon in the game to see how I can do for 10 hours. Just because. Yeah, it's like, they're games. They're meant to be fun. They're not meant to be life and death. It's not meant to be an indicator on anything. Just play the game. Have a good time. Like it's just not that serious. I'm so tired of every article I read about, the player count of this game is up. The player count of this game is down. Who cares? Not every game is a forever game. Play the game, and then when you're done, play a different game. And then if you want to, you can come back to it. There's not a shelf life. If you bought, Fallout 4 6 years ago, or picked up, Fallout New Vegas on sale, it's not any worse or better of a game. Now, I don't know what they've done with updates, so maybe it is, but like if you bought the game, you can still have fun with that game years after the fact. Well, there isn't a shelf life on these. Well, right, yeah, but like there isn't a shelf life on these things. Like if it's a solo single player game and you can just play on your console, you can just play it and have fun. It doesn't matter what the player count is. Less people are playing Counter-Strike today than Fortnite, or Fortnite than Counter-Strike. None of it matters. I'm so tired with all of the player numbers news this week. And just like I dread even calling it news. It's like whatever the Steam charts say, because we're only counting PC people because there's no gaming consoles in the world. None of those people play games.
No,
but they don't matter.
Right.
No. PC is superior class
because they don't have easy charts to look at.
Do you think though, when we do eventually get the Xbox hybrid Steam machine, do you think if you own Destiny 2 on Steam as well as the Xbox, if you play it on the Steam version on this new machine, is it going to be superior to the version that's going to be on that machine, or do you think it's going to be equivalent to that machine because it's an upgraded machine? Because that's going to be interesting. Are you kind of downgrading yourself by playing it on the Xbox Helix, or are you upgrading yourself
on the Switch with the Switch 1 and the Switch 2 version you can play? You mean kind of in that way?
Well, I mean, if you own the Steam version of Destiny 2, and I play sometimes on the GeForce Now, which is really good. You get the 120 frames, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. You can get that on the Series X anyway, but PC is always different. So crossing that bridge of them being in the PC world with your Xbox, how's that going to fare? It's going to be interesting. Is it going to be as good, or is it going to be better or worse?
I always thought that the only limitation the PC and the console had was the hardware upgrade.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that was my thought. Is like it's going to
Yeah.
be whatever hardware they put in that box. I mean, that's what you're going to be limited
That's
by.
what you're going to have to do with, because if you look at a gaming PC these days, if you want to get a decent, not even a top of the line gaming PC, it's going to rack you up, what, 3,000?
No,
Around that
probably,
price?
probably for
Yeah.
starters, and that's before before the price of everything quadruples.
Yeah,
Like it has.
so
We don't talk about RAM or hard drive prices or anything else at this point.
because there are graphic cards that are at least 4 times the price of the best
Oh.
PlayStation or Xbox models.
Yeah, I mean that's I mean,
So I do hope that the people who buy those graphic cards have better results than me on my PlayStation.
Yeah.
I would hope so, but yeah, the way the cost of everything is going right now, I mean we just saw the Steam devices be pushed back or delayed or something because they can't get the hardware or can't get the hardware for the price, and we've seen the prices of everything going up. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if we end up with a machine that comes out. I mean, I remember when looking at hardware and stuff when there were RAM shortages before and stuff, like where a NAS you might buy for the house or a PC you might buy would have just less memory in it because they just couldn't get enough memory because it wasn't available. And I wonder if we're going to see, again, I don't know when Helix is supposed to come out. I've read that they're working on this thing, but I have no idea who or when this is going to come be out for people to buy. I just wonder if it's going to be in this current moment where everything is just getting devoured cost wise. If we're going to see machines come out a little underpowered because of price, because of cost, they can't, or the cost is going to be, oh yeah, you can buy this new Xbox. This is going to be $2,000.
Yeah,
So
there goes your 2-month
why not
mortgage.
just it's like, so at that point, why not just buy a PC if it's going to be just as expensive as buying a gaming PC, and the console should be the cheaper option, or at least a more set option. I don't know. And is it going to be an upgradable thing like a PC? Is it something I can go and swap out? Even if it's not a full-on graphics card, a chip or something. However they're doing the graphics, is it something I can upgrade? Is it going to be truly more PC-like, or is it just going to be another console of you buy it and it is what it is, and then if you want something else, you buy the next one.
Yeah. Is it going to be like an Xbox and then you kind of get a GeForce Now version of Steam inside the box to kind of play stuff on?
Yeah.
But if you've haven't got your Dark Age Hunt emblem, you should have submitted a video before February 13th. But if you did submit a video and you don't believe that you've got the emblem once you've kind of checked in your Flare in general, then you can submit a missing emblem request form and they'll look into it for you. Who knows when they'll get back to you, but they will at some point.
Yeah, sooner or later.
Yeah. And we're celebrating Women's History Month at Bungie, and they're spotlighting 2 organisations, Women in Games International and Futures Without Violence. Both organisations lead innovative programs to build communities, provide resources, and expand economic opportunities. For the month of March, they've invited us, the community, to join them in making a difference. And there's a pin and emblem. Order the new International Women's Day Collector's Pin. There's a new one, because they did do one before, and receive the accompanying code for the Empowering Voices emblem. With each purchase, $7 will be donated to the Bungie Foundation to support Women in Gaming International and Futures Without Violence. So it's the same emblem that they've done before, but they say it's a new pin. Let's have a look at the new pin and see how it differs from the old pin. That looks very similar to the one that it was before, because I bought the one that was before. Anyway, they say it's new. Maybe there's new colouring, but it looks the same to me. If you donate $10 through the Bungie Foundation campaign by March 31st, you'll receive the new Cosmic Circuitry emblem, and all net proceeds will support Women in Gaming International and Futures Without Violence, minus the Tiltify and payment processing fees. And the second emblem looks pretty cool. I do like the look of that one. Looks very retro gaming, Destiny, and blue and purple. Or
Is that the one
turquoise.
with the controller, with the weird shaped controller?
Yeah.
Yep.
That looks pretty cool.
Boomerang controller.
Yeah. We've got more stuff in our new player guide. We're going over resources this time. Well, we're not going over resources, but Bungie are going over resources, so you can give it a read there. And Peroty, is there anything new that we need to know about resources that we didn't know about resources? Or do we know everything about resources?
I mean, you should absolutely get your sweet business that they show off in the Destiny 2 companion app. Yeah, but they list all the lovely socials and where you can go to get information, which is nice to have all their socials laid out in one place. Now, whether they use them all and whether they're updated, we'll see. But it again, it's nice to see. I feel like, I don't know if other places do this, but like the third-party tools, apps, and websites, having it laid out where here's DIM, here's Braytech, here's Light.gg, Engram Blue, like here's all the sites that we talk about: Raid Report, Trials Report, Dungeon Report, Charlemagne. It's nice to have all of that stuff laid out. So when you said resources, I was thinking, oh, here's the different materials in the game.
Yeah, but it's not. But materials would be under. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I was thinking resources. I was like, oh, resources. But they're like, no. Here's hey, we have an app. We have third-party websites. There's lots of things you can do to make this game experience a lot better for you, which is nice to have all that in one place. Hey, I want to follow your news. Here's all the ways I can do that. All the different socials we're on, which I forget that they're on things like Facebook. But yeah, it's nice to have that one place. Just because, I mean, you can, if you're playing this game, you need the resources. You need access to these apps and things because it's just a far better experience. Yeah. I mean, if you're playing with or without D2 Armor Picker, you're not playing the same game.
It's in my books, in my tabs today in Destiny 2 D2 Armor Picker, D2 Foundry, DIM. It's like they're there. And then further down, we've got Braytech and all the other kind of things. So really useful. And what else is really useful is update 9.5.5.4 this week. Because in general, they've changed the timers for the season ending, so that the newly revised end of date will be updated at some point to reflect the end of the Lawless Frontier season. And they fixed several instances of placeholder icons for some items in collections. The Heart Shadow ornament Soul Bright should now correctly appear in collections. And that's it. That's all you got this week. Just a little teeny weeny update.
Yep. It's a little tiny bit and some downtime of who knows what else they were doing. Yeah. Something maybe.
Now, do you have a huge player support report list to make up for the really teeny weeny update that we got this week? Or is it comparable to our update?
Well, let's see. We have a This Weekend in Destiny. So I don't know. We have This Week in Destiny. Now we have This Weekend in Destiny, which if we ever do this a second time, Bungie, that would be nice. This weekend that we're currently in, which doesn't do you, the listener, any good. No. But there's an
unless you read it, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, there's an accelerator for the special surge happening. So your special surge is currently doubles all your second slot weapon damage and increases the chance of special ammo drops in portal activities. So if you want to run around with your favorite special ammo weapon, you should do that. I was told grab the third iteration out and run around and have a good time, and maybe it'll feel a little broken like it did the very first time when you had it. In the Crucible, we have the Checkmate Mix, Team Scorched, and Rumble. Crucible Ops has Relic and Mayhem.
So the Crucible, when they say the Crucible, that's on the Director, and you go to the Crucible, not the Portal version. The Crucible Ops is the Portal version.
Yeah, so if you want the bad weapons and drops, go play Checkmate, Scorched, or Rumble. If you want the good stuff, Relic and Mayhem. Exodus Crash is your Grandmaster Vanguard alert for Noble to die in constantly. And Trials of Osiris, we're on the Endless Veil and getting the Martlet Pulse Rifle, which is very good. Lovely little Void Pulse Rifle. So if you're hearing this and it's over, then you've missed it. But they will tell you next week in Destiny. Well, next weekend in Destiny.
Well, yeah, just next weekend, yeah.
Trials of Osiris will be on Javelin 4, and we'll have the Corundrum Hammer hand cannon. So if you want the hand cannon, next weekend in Trials, that's what'll be up. Now, Bungie, if you'd like to continue doing things like this, that would be nice. If you want to tell us what's happening the next week in Destiny, what things are going to be up in the next week, that would be good. So since you won't, 19 will have to do it for you.
Yeah, and I'll put that in here for you to listen to. This is your weekly rundown for Destiny 2 Renegades, week 15 starting on March 10th. This is a quiet week before the storm of Guardian Games begins next week, giving you another week with a random boost available in Portal activities. Over in the Portal Crucible Ops this week will be competitive, control, and another Crucible playlist mode, with Trials of Osiris at the weekend. Other non-featured modes of 3v3 Showdown and 6v6 Mayhem can be found over on the Crucible Director. In the solo ops we have Skywatch, the Salt Mines, the Conflux, Creation, K1 Logistics, and Caldera, with the new solo ops Typhoon Imperator. In the fighting ops we have one of the rotating Reclaim missions, with this week being Fallen Bunker, Heist Battlegrounds Moon, and Defiant Battlegrounds EDZ, with the Sunless Cell Strike. Strikes added in week 2 of Renegades with the Birthplace of the Vile, Exodus Crash, Warden of Nothing, and the Arms Dealer. Also still in the fighting ops are the Battlegrounds Behemoth, Core, Oracle, Foothold, Delve and Conduit, Expedition Nessus, the Strikes of Liminality, Hypernet Current, Insight Terminus, Fallen Saber, the Devil's Lair, Proving Grounds, the Inverted Spire, and the Glassway, Empire Hunts the Warrior, Technocrat and Dark Priestess, and Savathûn Spire Offensive. In the arena ops are Season of Plunders, Catch Crash, Season of Loss, Astral Alignment, and Season of the Haunted's Nightmare Containment. In the Pinnacle ops we have the 3 dungeon layers, Pit of Heresy Beneath the Necropolis, Duality Nightmare of Goron, and Warlord's Ruin Locus of the Wailing Grief, with Onslaught Midtown, Episode Revenant's Contest of Elders, and the Coil. New to the Pinnacle ops we have the exotic mission Vox Obscura, with the Dead Messenger exotic Waveframe Grenade Launcher as the main reward, and Episode Heresy's Dear Allies mission, for the Baradide exotic submachine gun. Returning exotic missions include Heliostat, with Wolfsbane exotic axe as the main reward, Presage, with the Dead Man's Tale exotic scout rifle being the main reward, Node Override Avalon, with the Excalibur exotic glaive being the main reward, Starcrossed, with the Witchkeeper exotic bow being the main reward, the Whisper, with the Whisper of the Worm exotic sniper being the main reward, Kel's Fall, with the Slayer's Fang exotic shotgun being the main reward, and Encore, with the Choir of One auto rifle being the main reward. Also in the portal is the new Vanguard Alerts tab, found in the Seasonal Hub, which consists of weekly challenges in Vanguard, Arena, Crucible, and Grandmaster Alerts. Over on the Lord's Frontier, the contested territory will start this week's rotation with Europa, and the Fire and Ice exotic mission will be Arc Threat. On Kepler, featured mission 1 this week will be Commencement, and featured mission 2 will be Charge. For our Legacy rotation, the Dreaming City this week is at a medium curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in the Divilium Miss, and has the Oracle Engine mission for the next week. The Blindwell features Hive enemies and the Plague Kragar. The Ascendant Challenge will be the Shattered Ruins over in the Spine of Keris. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is a mysterious disturbance. The Drove Guardian is located in the Anchor of Light, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Zoltal in Sorrow's Harbour. Nightmare hunts Crota, Despair, Omnigul, Anguish, and Fanatic Insanity. The Altars of Sorrow start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Zydron and the Heretic Rocket Launcher. On Europa this week, Phylax the Warrior will be the Empire Hunt, Asterian's Abyss will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Agility. Dares of Eternity Expert difficulty rounds are Fallen, Hive, and Zydron. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Lightkin armor set will be available in Dares of Eternity with Weapon Set 3. Chroma Rush, Ignition Code, Grid Skipper, Farewell, Sonja's Tale, Shattered Cipher, Main Ingredient, Long Shadow, Last Dance, Toil and Trouble, Wishbringer, and Last Perdition. The Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Ghost, Altar of Reflection's Choice, and Altar of Reflection's Insight. The Wellspring activity will start the week on Defense, with the Arc Grenade Launcher, Tarnation, and Vazul Solar Scorn Chieftain as the boss. The Lightfall weekly mission is No Time Left, the Partition mission will be Ordnance, and the Vex incursion will be Umshire Park. In the Pale Heart is the exotic class item mission Dual Destiny, and the 12 Guardian Match-Made Excision mission, with a Grandmaster version guaranteeing you the Ergosum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The Lost Sector rotation for this week will start with Veil's Labyrinth on the Cosmodrome, Bay of Drowned Wishes on the Dreaming City, Skydock 4 on the EDZ, Bunker E15 on Europa, K1 Logistics on the Moon, Hydroponics Delta on Neptune, the Conflux on Nessus, Sepultura on the Throne World, and the Blooming Deep in the Pale Heart. All Legacy raids and challenges are now available all the time, and at present there are also no featured raids or dungeons each week, but you can find past raids and dungeons for their respective exotic weapons, with no weekly lockouts. Over on Kepler we have the Desert Perpetual Raid, and Desert Perpetual Epic Raid, with both versions dropping Tier +3 loot, with the chance for the exotic rocket launcher Whirling Ovation to drop. Over on Venus, the new dungeon Equilibrium has the chance for the exotic combat bow Heirloom and the Dark Matter Crystal for the Praxic Blade to drop. The exotic mission rotator will be Presage, with the Dead Man's Tale exotic scout rifle being the main reward, the Season the Haunted, and opulent weapon sets, plus the Idolium Preservant armor set. The exotic missions, the Whisper and 0 Hour will also be available in the Legends tab. And that's it for the 15th week of Renegades.
There you go. Now you know what's happening next week and weekend in Destiny, and I'm going to tell you all the known issues. So strap in, sit back, refill your beverage, because we have the generators in the Fearsome Retainer Renegade mission cannot be damaged by the alt fire missiles or stomp attack. They can still be destroyed with the primary fire lasers. So use the lasers on your generators. Tempest Strike cannot be used while a Renegade ability jammer is active. I don't know why. The Tempest Strike is not a Renegade ability, but they feel it is, so you can't use it. Now, in rare instances, players who are pulled forward into the Ep.371 encounter in the Desert Perpetual Epic version can still get stuck on a black screen until the fire team wipes. So, if you're staring at a black screen, just wait for your team to wipe, and there goes Flawless. And finally, your Wolfsbane Light Attack are still displaying the Void effects versus the Solar effects. It's doing solar damage, trust us. It just looks like, it looks purple. Someone got some grape in there, and now it's just a big mess. And yeah, that's it. They've fixed all the other known issues. These are the only things you should be aware of. No, just kidding. There's still a big
game now. It's a perfect game now.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yep, everything is good to go. So yeah, there's again a link to all the known issues. If you are going, hey, I'm encountering a thing or I'm seeing a thing that I don't like maybe your heavy crossbows not piercing your non-champion immunity shields with anti-barrier bows, might be a thing you want to know about. Who knows? But yeah, those are all the ones they feel fit to tell us about this week. Yeah, so yeah, big long list. And then we have some sparkling artwork, Arc Surge, and whatever PvP match nonsense this is going to be. Ooh, and then they want to thank us all for playing the Dark Age Hunt and the Time Trials. Now, before we close this TWAB out, we must say that today is a special day in Bungie history. Following its Server Slam event last week, we were very proud to launch Marathon on Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox. And why am I telling you about Marathon in your Destiny podcast? Because there's emblems. And I know, even if it's not strictly a Destiny emblem, I know you people love your emblems. So there are Marathon themed emblem runner for the runner, DXL XHC X37, and the M:/start emblem is the JND HLR L69. Are both yours to redeem. If you're going, what did he just say? Just open the TWAB up, scroll to the bottom. It's in the last paragraph. And the Eververse also has a free runner kit package up for grabs. So get yours now to unlock your modern multi-tool, modern Mida multi-tool ornament, your Silkworm Weave shader, and you're waiting to exfil emote. And if you pre-ordered Marathon, you'll get more things in Marathon. Yeah, but I didn't, so I don't.
Ghost shells, exotic ships.
Yep.
Exotic sparrows. Yeah.
Yeah. But go pick those up. If you ordered it or looking for things, go to your special deliveries kiosk in the tower. It'll have all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the TWAB. That's all the news that they felt fit to print this week.
I did as I said to kind of you and Noble last week, I did have a question that I was going to bring up this week. And, we've got another guest this week who we can kind of discuss it with. And this is to do with Shadow and Order and the delay that's happening with it. Do we think that because it's being delayed and it's being delayed for quite a significant amount of time, do we think that it's going to be very similar to how we had Into the Light, which was stuff that was taken from the next kind of, I'm not sure whether it was expansion or it was like an episode or a season, and it was brought forward and made its own thing. And with that, we then got the Pantheon and we got all the stuff that was Into the Light. And it was fantastic. Everybody enjoyed it. It was a good kind of mid update to the game. Do we think that Bungie, because they haven't announced what's coming with, I think it was The Alchemist and something else after further down the line, do we think that maybe they are kind of pinching some of the resources that they've currently made for those things and they're going to put those into the June update so that they can kind of bulk it out, that it is going to be more than just kind of an update to the game? It's going to be its own thing, like Into the Light?
You mean like kind of, let's put something we had planned for the future into this update as a so-called Hellberry to keep this game going? Or the player base happy?
Yeah, because I think
it's not a bad thing.
That's why I think maybe they've kind of said, the name for Shadow and Order is kind of, that's off the table now. It's not going to be called that. It's going to be called something else. I think that is partly the reason, is that where they're going to bring other stuff into it that they've already kind of developed or they've been developing, that they just need that extra bit of time, which is why we're going to have to wait until June. And then it's going to be called something else. Maybe it's Into the Light 2.
Yeah, well, it can't hurt the game, in my opinion, because if it does bring new stuff that they were supposed to bring out later for now, because as we said multiple times, the core player base have played almost everything that was out there, and even the newer stuff sometimes, or 70% of the times, is just something reskinned that we had before. So it's hard to make new content for them, and if they're gonna be considering even putting newer stuff in here so we can play that earlier than expected, I would say go for it. It can never hurt the game.
I mean, I think not knowing what we're going to get, because we still haven't really been told what we're going to get. It's hard to say. I agree with Don. I mean, anything going to give me, the sooner the better. Yeah, put it in the game. Let me get my hands on it. But it's like not knowing what we're going to have or what we're supposed to have. I can't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting things early, unless they tell me at some point, hey, this was going to come later. Now we're giving it to you sooner. We're pushing this live now, or before it was meant to be. But again, I don't really know what this next expansion is supposed to have in it, so I don't really know what I'm looking forward to or what I'm excited about. But yeah, I mean, the more stuff you want to give me sooner, great. I agree. That can never be a bad thing.
Yeah,
but it would just it'd be. I'm not going to use the word that they talked about. That's an indication of things coming in the future. Some sort of
Wizardy.
a guide to streets, maybe some sort of street guide they could put out to tell us what's happening. Yeah, I mean, again, the more the merrier. It just, I don't know what we're going to have. I don't know what we're going to see, and when we're going to see it. But I'm excited to whenever it gets here.
Well, one thing we did say that when we did have Into the Light and we got Onslaught, we were like, well, once kind of Into the Light finishes and it's integrated into the game, which it was then put in the Vanguard kind of playlist. We were then hoping, because I think at that point we had the 3 maps, didn't we? We had the Vostok, Midtown, Moth Yards, and we could play those maps in the Vanguard playlist, and then they did a separate playlist that you could then play more Onslaught stuff in, which was the Onslaught, was that Salvation or something like that, that was then part of one of the episodes that we then got. Widow's Court, we got, and I can't remember the other 2 places that we got. There was one on Europa, wasn't there, as well, in that kind of, in the patrol area. And then there was another one. There was like 6 maps in total, and I can't remember off the top of my head. So you could play the 3 original Onslaught maps over in the Vanguard playlist, and that rotated daily with weekly, and the bosses rotated daily for those. And then over in the other one, I think it was very similar, that you kind of, they were on a rotation as well. But then when it kind of got pulled into the portal, we've only got 1 from each playlist now. We only have Midtown, or we have Widow's Court, and they're on a rotation each and every other week. But we haven't seen the other maps, and we haven't seen any kind of iteration on Onslaught. And it was one of the things that we kind of called for. It's like, well, yeah, this is a really good start. Maybe if the enemies got tougher and we got better defenses, or there were different maps, or there were kind of, you could, instead of just being set locations for those Onslaught barriers and things to be put down, maybe it should be like Gears of War, where they initially, it started off as you could only place them in these specific places, but then as kind of the Gears of War Horde mode kind of got better and better in each game, you could then place the, like, your defenses down wherever you kind of wanted to, and that made for a little bit more interesting game, because then the computer would then try and figure out how to get round those, or kind of just go through it as a complete boss rush mode. But yeah, it's just one of those things that just, it didn't kind of pan out. And I'm thinking maybe that this is one of the things that they're developing with, because they've said Pantheon 2.0 at some point, that maybe we're going to get an Into the Light 2.0 with more Onslaught, or better Onslaught, or expanded Onslaught, and it kind of be maybe in the portal. But I was thinking, it's its own kind of playlist, because it should be in there, and you should be able to kind of play all those kind of maps, because they are very unique with how they kind of play out. But it's just, it's very frustrating to see that, those are things that have kind of been taken out and just not put back in as such.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking up Eventide Ruins,
That's
is the
it.
one
Yeah.
on Europa, and then Kel's Grave
Yes.
is the other one. And yeah, it's like, again, just why it felt weird to me that we got Onslaught and then like a Onslaught but in a different place, and it was never like brought together as like, here is Onslaught, here we'll put it in a, we'll put it in the Vanguard or in the, in the Portal on a rotation. It's just like, it's almost like we have two different teams working on Onslaught that didn't talk to each other, and thus it's coming into the game differently. And now one of them is leaving the game, and now we just have a tiny portion of what you built for the game. It'd be nice to know what's coming. Again, even, I'm not here calling for, hey, I need brand new things to play, but just, there's so much content in this game. There's so many maps we used to have. There's so much we could be doing that could be available right now.
Yeah,
Are we ever going to see
like a
any of it?
Gambit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, something like a game, but even, again, just even all these old maps, all the Crucible maps that they took away, all the Onslaught stuff that just isn't accessible anymore. It's like you built it. It was, I mean, yeah, it needs to be portalized, and maybe that's the problem. It needs to be portalized like everything else you built that now needs to fit into the portal with the new tiered weapon system and armored system. It's like we have all this content. We're going, well, we have this content. It was just in the game. Well, yeah, it was in the game, but not in the portal. So now it has the same problem as all the other content you have in the game that is also not in the portal. And thus, why would I go play it? I mean, at this point, even, it's like, put it back in the game at all, and then work, make it available to people, and then work on putting it into the portal. There's so much stuff here. It's just like, oh, we have it, but, we're just not going to, you just can't ever play it. It just doesn't exist.
Yep.
It's so frustrating. It's like, oh yeah, I remember when this thing used to exist. Why did they take it out? Oh, because it left, and then the portal came, and then now they have all this extra work to bring things back in, and we may or may not ever see it. In addition to, in addition to all the new stuff they're working on, which is great. Like, I'm happy for the new, happy for new stuff, whatever that's going to be. But it would just be nice to know that, or not even that, but if we're getting any of this older stuff back, are we going to have a full, robust Onslaught mode to play in this game, or no? Was it you had to play it when, and then it's just never going to come back again? Because, sorry, we just took it out, and that's that.
Yeah.
Probably going to be, well, sounds bad, but it kind of sounds like laziness on their part. Because, yeah, we had so many good modes that people enjoyed and actually played, and they're taking that away, and they're all blaming it on the portal. They had the portal plans, 6-7 years ago that they came up with the whole portal? Never worked out. They skipped it, and now they forced it to us, and now it's, I'm not going to say like the death of the game, but it took away a lot of players for making it complicated in so many ways that wasn't necessary at all. I'm like, just as I said before, just listen to your main player base, the people who actually play it, instead of making money off of it, and then see what you can do with it, instead of listening to the people who only care that they're making money off of the game and certain game modes, and then be like, oh, those people know what they're talking about because they're putting in, 60 hours a week at least? But that's not because they like the game. Usually that's because they make money off of the game. And that's a bad starting point to listening to your community if that's the only people you reason with.
Yeah.
Just it's hard to defend Bungie sometimes when they're making such big mistakes, especially towards their community.
Do we think now that Marathon is out the door and to some success that we are going to then get some focus back on Destiny for a while? I mean, I did hear that Marathon's, is it their second season, is due in June as well. I think it's the week after they've pushed.
Wow, really?
Yeah, the Shadow and Order update is meant to go live. It's around the same time.
Right.
Oh,
well, again,
but surely that's already done that season. It just needs some fine tuning for Marathon.
Right, Bungie, that's done, right? That's done.
Yeah, that's done.
That's done. You don't need to work on that too, and then put like that. Yeah.
Come back to Destiny.
I hear PTSD. We need a Dr. Phil on the show.
Well, just but yeah. But I mean, as we sit here now, yeah. I mean, Marathon is out the door. Marathon is in the wild. Marathon, and now we're gonna go to the player numbers. No, I'm kidding.
No, don't start with those player numbers because I've been harassed with pictures of player numbers.
There are currently
no.
people in the game playing Marathon on it right now, and they're having an experience with it. Yeah, I mean, it's like, but again, it's out the door. It's in the wild. It can now start making money for this company. It's no longer we've put millions of dollars and years of development into it and gotten nothing back. It's now out. It's now in the wild. It's now, in a lot of ways, out of their hands. It's out there.
I'll make money,
it's
bring
going
back
to be
my Nathan Fillion so we can have Kate back in the game, and I'm all good. And more toaster, please.
Yeah. I mean, it's out there and it's going to be whatever it's going to be. I mean, it's now something in the wild to play. So I'm hoping we're going to see, I won't even say the focus back on the game, because like there's clearly focus in the background happening, just we're not seeing from the player perspective. Yeah. But, I mean, we're quickly approaching a year since Edge of Fate came out. And yes, Edge of Fate obviously had problems and they had a ton of work to do. I look back now at all the work they did on the leveling and making leveling easier and quicker, to then just take out the need to level ever again. And it's like, I understand in the moment you had to stem the tide of all the bleeding of, I can't level super fast and I can't get to 500 immediately, and now I'm sad about it. But all that work was done for that short amount of time. And then it was like, okay, well, that's a problem we're never going to have again. Because we're never going to, I mean, again, unless you're coming back to the game new, but even then, I don't know. I keep thinking, I wonder where we'd be if we hadn't spent all that time trying to stem the bleeding, which again, they couldn't, it's not like they couldn't do nothing when Edge of Fate came out and everybody was complaining about how slow the progression was. Like, they had to do something. But now it's like, we're coming up on a year. All of our problems with the portal are still there. All of our complaints about things missing are still there. All of the things that we wish we were seeing kind of are still there. Yeah, I mean, the progression's a lot better. We understand the portal better. I think the event model in it is working. Like, I like that piece where it has its own track and like its own sort of self-contained things, like for the heavy metal and Iron Banner, if and when we ever see it again in April. But it's just, I was hoping by this point in the portal's life, we would have a little more to the portal, because it is still just hard to navigate and weird. Like, it's still weird to me that they, the whole Renegades thing is a director style menu in the portal. Well, if you want to do the portal, why does that all look like the director? And why now, to get to the Edge of Fate, do I have to go into a timeline to get to a planet that looks like the director? Like, it's just, it's so weird and disjointed. And I mean, again, what more can I say about the portal at this point that we haven't already talked about? But just
get rid of it.
It's just, well, I don't even care if you get rid of it, but just add things to it. Like, why is
constantly
there no
add stuff to it?
Like, why is there no plan to continue to add things to it? And I don't need everything. Why is every 2 or 3 weeks something new hitting solo ops? Why is every 2 or 3 weeks something new not hitting fire team ops? Why am I not throwing something into the mix? I mean, it's already only 3 of those things are match made, so I wonder how much play any of the other stuff in here gets. Why are we not, why can I not expand the fire team matchmaking in this stuff? You've got 29 different fire team ops right now. 3 of them are match made at light level. One of them's the quick play, so it's not at light level. One of them's the GM. It's like, so like the amount of content is getting there, but the ability to play it with people is at an all-time low. Because if I don't have a fire team, I can play 4 of your 29 options in fire team ops. That's bring your own fire team ops. That's not the same as fire team ops. I used to be able to jump on this game, and play it. And now it's like, well, did you bring a friend? Did you bring a couple of friends? Did you bring a group with you? Well, I'm sorry, we can't seat you at this table alone, sir. You need to wait for your entire party to get here. It's like the content is getting there, but you want people to play it, let us play with each other. That's all. That's
Yeah.
all I'm asking for. Just let us play together.
If there's one thing to be said that Bungie killed, if you can call it killing, is they killed the casual gaming side of the whole game. It's just, as you said, sometimes you came home from work or whatever you had, and you had a day, and you're like, I'm just gonna sit, grab myself something to drink, maybe a little snack with it. Just let me do 3 strikes, 3 Gambit matches, or 3 Crucible games, and I have that done. And then I can just relax and shut it off again and do it again the next day or a couple of days later and just enjoy it. And the enjoyability of how simple and how good or how much pleasure you took out of the game is just gone. And that's what I don't get, because if your player base is shrinking, why not go back to when it was good, stable, or even growing? It can't be that hard to put in, like, okay, if you do 3 strikes or 3 nightfalls a week, you get this extra, because we already have something like that with Zavala, that you can go there and grab a weapon or an armor piece, but just put in something extra that gives us an engram or whatever it is that we can do, and let us enjoy it the way we've enjoyed it all these times.
Yeah, I'm struggling hard not to go down again the same path we've walked the last year.
Yeah,
but it's just it. I mean, and at this point, I'm really just starting to wonder. It's like I know Bungie had done a ton of work to make, to be able to turn on and off certain things, and like to swap maps out for trials or swap weapons, like when there's issues. And I just wonder now if they can't like put things into the game, if there's no easy way to just to make these small changes or to add little bits of content to it. Like it really does require like downtime and like back end maintenance and like a proper full like release cycle to make all of this happen. Because it's just like there's I don't know. I mean, again, I am not a video game developer. I don't pretend to know how all of this works, but it's just.
But you have the internet. You're an expert, sir.
I do have an expert, and I do work in a role where I work with developers on a very, very small scale. Nothing even approaching anywhere near the complexity of a single video game, let alone a Destiny video game. But it's just, it's. And I also know that it's not like, it's not like Bungie doesn't want to do this. It's not, Bungie hates us. They're not listening to us. It's like, no, that's not how any of this works. Sometimes it's just priorities. It's just, there's only so many hours in the week and so much stuff that has to get done. And yeah, that's been split with Marathon to at least some degree. I mean, of the 800 whatever people at Bungie, in all the different roles across, it's not like those are 800 developers sitting there waiting to develop the game. There's all the other parts that need to exist to make a company function and a game function. It's like there's only so many hours in the week to get things done. So, you do what you can do, and toward whatever schedule you're making. And I have no idea. Again, when I say, oh, if we could just add this or just turn matchmaking on or just do this, my just could be 6 months of work. That could be 6 weeks of changes and updates and coordination between teams. They talk all the time about how, the map team and the sandbox team and the weapons team need to get together and do this and that and the other. My simple change could be 7 people across 6 teams. Oh, and by the way, we still have to deploy, to test this to some degree and deploy it and get it into the game, into people's hands. Like it's, I know none of this is easy, and I know there is no just in software development. There is no just in video game development. It's not push the Gambit into Portal button. Like that's not a thing. But since we just have a vacuum of information, we're gonna, put our wish list out there and see what happens. Because again, I don't need, I don't know. I'll get off my soapbox. I feel like I'm just repeating myself every week. It's like just give us an idea, give us an indication, like give us a little glimmer of hope. Of just, hey, we're cooking, it's in the oven. You're gonna have it. It's probably gonna be delicious when it gets here. We just don't know when the orders are going to be served, or if we're just going to stand around being hungry until then.
Yeah.
Well, only time will tell, yeah?
Indeed. And time is a ticking. So shall we say goodbye to everyone and thank our patrons?
We probably should. Are there no videos this week?
Marathon?
Yes, that's the whole video itself. And us complaining. Don't forget that we're now part of the cool guys.
No, I have, because last week we didn't have anything kind of video wise. I did look, but it is literally everything on my my Destiny people's stuff. It's like marathon, marathon day
Nathan.
2, marathon day 3, marathon. It's like, didn't you used to play Destiny? It's like, oh no, something about
Or
Daredevil.
maybe Marathon is the new Destiny.
Yeah.
We're just stubborn enough to not see that.
Maybe Marathon is the marathon killer. Maybe.
Yeah.
At this point, I'll just say if you haven't, go follow Maven, Maven, on YouTube, because she's out there putting out Destiny content still. This week was which armor should you keep or delete, just sort of going over, again, just sort of a broad, for each class, PvE and PvP, what kind of things might you want to look at? What kind of things might you want to keep? Since if you're playing, you've got armor filling your vault quickly, what might you want to hang on to? She did a Jotun video about the toaster a couple weeks ago, Donny. And and she did one about Wither Horde, the goat of DOT, damage over time. I won't say her toaster video is a glowing recommendation for the toaster. It's more of an aspirational. I wish I could recommend you the toaster, but she gave the toaster some love and the Wither Horde some love. So again,
the fact that it's a toaster should be enough.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually printed off a life-size one. I need to glue it together and paint it. So once that's done, it's going to the Discord. So yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, Maven's out there still making Destiny content, and yeah, when there's more, I've seen a couple people going back to Destiny 1 and either people who didn't play Destiny 1 or again haven't played it since we were all playing Destiny 1, going back and finding some joy there. But so yeah, there's things you can do to have fun. Not all of it is about what the newest thing is. Go play games, go have fun with the games. And after you've done that, go to the Patreon at patreon.com/TTH and say, you know what, we want to threaten you with a good time like Renard Calant. The man loves his threats. We want to throw grenades at you like Bacon Cheeseburger, Golden God 1562, Noble, Who's Abandoned Us, the man Conan from Texas, and Feral. They've all gone there. They say, we appreciate what you do, and we appreciate you are still here talking about Bungie and Destiny week in and week out. And until next week, thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Night Demon. Your hunter extraordinaire is Donny. See, no complaints. You can find the show wherever you get your podcasts, where you want to be. Search Two Titans and a Hunter. Email the show, twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. If you haven't by now, you should go to YouTube, Two Titans and a Hunter, of course. You'll get your 801 videos. Night Demon will tell you what's happening next week, all the Eververse goods, and this entire show also lives there. So you can go there, leave us comments, and tell us how amazing Donny is and how mad you are that Noble wasn't here this week. If
he just ran away because he knew I was going to get him.
Exactly. He knew you were coming for his loot. You're going to kill him before you extract it, take all his loot, and then he'd be sad about it. And then you'll be sad because you haven't gone to twotitansandahunter.com to see all the show notes, all the links we talk about, all those lovely Bungie resources that we've been telling you about for years. They're all there. And if you appreciate us continuing to be here every single week, patreon.com/TTH. You can join our lovely patrons who say thank you for continuing to show up. If you want a more casual encounter, ko-fi.com/twotitansandahunter. And I keep telling you, twitch.tv/twotitansandahunter. Go there, follow us, hit the bell, and you'll know when shenanigans arise. I can't tell you when that'll be, just that they will be. So you should go there. Until next week, gents, tell the people goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
Marathon.
No. That's enough of that rubbish.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's rubbish. I'm not saying it's rubbish.
No, he said that now. You heard that
No,
party.
the game's not rubbish. I'm just saying Destiny
Yeah.
show. Remember?
Yeah.